The icy night of Alaska had turned brutal. The temperature had dropped to -15 degrees. 0:066 seconds. Powerful 40 miles per hour winds were crashing across the sea. And Emily Riedel's 65 feet. 0:1313 seconds dredge boat was standing on anchor for one final time in the middle of the dark Bering Sea. The crew had been working 0:2121 seconds nonstop for the last 11 weeks. Nearly $2.80, $8 million in operation costs had already been spent, but the gold recovery was far lower than expected. 0:3333 seconds. Most miners had already accepted that the season was over. But then the sonar scans revealed something that shook the 0 to 4242 seconds entire operation. Nearly 85 feet below the seafloor, a massive metallic concentration signal was recorded. The early readings did not look normal. 0:5454 seconds. Density levels were almost 68% higher than the surrounding areas. When deeper scans were completed, the experts 1:021 minute, 2 seconds estimated that nearly 48,000 ounces of gold could be hidden below. Estimated value, $110 million. 1:131 minute, 13 seconds. Yes, a hidden $110 million underwater treasure jackpot beneath the ocean. But 1:201 minute, 20 seconds. Reaching it was far from easy. The water temperature was only 2 degrees. Visibility was 1:261 minute, 26 seconds. Barely 3 feet, and the currents were so dangerous that a diver could smash into rocks within seconds. Several crew 1:351 minute, 35 seconds. Members tried to stop Emily, but Emily kept saying only one thing: if the scans are right, this could become the biggest discovery in Bering Sea history. 1:461 minute, 46 seconds. That night, the entire crew was staring at the blinking sonar signals on the control screens, and Emily was preparing. 1:541 minute, 54 seconds to take the most dangerous final dive of her life. 1:591 minute, 59 seconds. Before moving further into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because what Emily saw below changed the entire history of Gold Rush forever. 2:102 minutes, 10 seconds. That night in Alaska, the Bering Sea looked nothing less than a nightmare. The temperature had fallen to +5 degrees. 2:192 minutes, 19 seconds. Freezing 40 miles per hour winds were violently shaking the ocean, and Emily Riedel's dredge boat was barely holding steady in 2:272 minutes, 27 seconds. The middle of the dark water. Above them were only black clouds, and 85 feet below. 2:352 minutes, 35 seconds. A terrifying mystery was hidden beneath the seafloor. 2:392 minutes, 39 seconds. For the past 11 weeks, Emily's team had been facing non-stop losses. Fuel costs, 2 to 462 minutes, 46 seconds. Equipment repairs and failed dives had pushed the operation close to $2.8 million in expenses. 2:552 minutes, 55 seconds. Many crew members had already started believing the season was finished. But during that same time, a sudden 3:023 minutes, 2 second signal appeared inside the sonar control room that changed everything. A massive metallic density zone was glowing across 3:103 minutes, 10 seconds. Of screens. At first, the technicians believed it might be an equipment error, but when the scans were repeated, the 3:173 minutes, 17 second signals became even stronger. Compared to the surrounding sea floor, the density was nearly 68% higher. The 3:253 minutes, 25 seconds preliminary estimate left the entire room silent. Nearly 48,000 ounces of gold could be hidden below. Estimated 3:343 minutes, 34 seconds. Value $110 million. 3:383 minutes, 38 seconds. For a few seconds, the control room went completely quiet. Only the sound of the machines could be heard, because if the 3:473 minutes, 47 seconds data was accurate, Emily was standing in front of a discovery that could rewrite Bering Sea mining history. But the 3:553 minutes, 55 seconds problem was that reaching that depth was considered almost suicidal. The water temperature was only 2 degrees and visibility for 0.44 minutes for seconds was barely 3 feet, and the currents were so violent that one small mistake could throw a diver directly into the rocks. For 134 minutes, 13 seconds for Emily Riedel. The season had been turning into a disaster from the very beginning. Even after 11 weeks of, for 204 minutes, 20 seconds non-stop work in the freezing waters of the Bering Sea, her crew had still not recovered any major gold haul. For the 294 minutes, 29-second single day, the operation costs kept climbing higher. Thousands of dollars were burning away daily on fuel alone. For 394 minutes, 39 seconds dredge maintenance, diver equipment, underwater repairs, and crew salaries had pushed the total operating cost close to $2.8 million. For 494 minutes, 49 seconds, several crew members had now openly started saying that the season should be shut down. Some divers were mentally. For 564 minutes, 56 seconds exhausted after spending hours in ice-cold water. Now watching the recovery box come back nearly empty destroyed the team's confidence. 5:075 minutes, 7 seconds on top of that. The Bering Sea weather was becoming more dangerous every day. 5:125 minutes, 12 seconds, 40 mph winds, freezing temperatures, and violent underwater currents were turning every dive into something close to death. 5:215 minutes, 21 seconds itself. But Emily was not someone who gave up easily. Other miners kept saying that the depth Emily was targeting was 5:305 minutes, 30 seconds, practically impossible for profitable mining. Reaching such deep underwater zones was extremely expensive, and the 5:385 minutes, 38 seconds risks were so high that most crews never even attempted it. Several experts openly claimed that Emily was simply 5:455 minutes, 45 seconds burning money. The biggest pressure came when, after one failed dive after another, the investors started raising 5:535 minutes, 53 seconds serious questions. The crew feared that if a major recovery did not happen soon, if the entire operation could be shut. 6:016 minutes, 1 second down. Emily Riedel knew that if this season failed, it would not only mean financial losses, her entire reputation. 6:096 minutes, 9 seconds could be at risk. But then those shocking metallic signals appeared in the sonar scans. Suddenly, Emily began. 6:176 minutes, 17 seconds to feel that maybe all those months of hard work had not been wasted. Maybe there really was a deposit hidden below. 6:266 minutes, 26 seconds that was far bigger than anyone had imagined. 6:306 minutes, 30 seconds that night. Everything above the Bering Sea looked normal. But deep below the dark ocean floor, something hidden was. 6:386 minutes, 38 seconds about to change the direction of the entire operation. Emily Riedel's team had been running advanced sonar scans. 6:466 minutes, 46 seconds for several days. At first, it was only a routine survey meant to locate new gold pockets, but then unusual signals. 6:556 minutes, 55 seconds suddenly began appearing across the screens. The technicians inside the control room could not understand at first what they were seeing. In 7:047 minutes, for second section of the sea floor and metallic density readings were recording nearly 68% higher than the surrounding areas. 7:147 minutes, 14 seconds. It did not look like a normal placer gold deposit at all. The signals were so powerful that the sonar system kept. 7:227 minutes, 22 seconds, triggering overload warnings again and again. Emily immediately ordered the team to activate a wider scan radius. 7:307 minutes, 30 seconds, nearly a 300-yard area was scanned once more. But as the scans continued, the mystery became even more dangerous. 7:407 minutes, 40 seconds was not just one signal. Multiple anomaly zones started appearing. In some areas, straight line patterns could be. 7:487 minutes, 48 seconds seen, while in other places, Dense metallic pockets seemed to stay connected continuously. 7:5:57 minutes, 55 seconds. Some crew members believed the sonar system might be malfunctioning, but when the readings were verified using the backup system, the exact same results. 8:0:48 minutes, 4 seconds appeared again, and the entire control room fell silent for a few seconds because now it was clear that something. 8:1:28 minutes, 12 seconds massive existed below. Something very massive. One marine geology expert, 8:1:98 minutes, 19 seconds quietly looked at the data and said, readings this strong are normally found only in extremely rich concentration. 8:2:68 minutes, 26 second zones or near some kind of hidden structure. And that was the most terrifying part, because Emily's team was 8:3:58 minutes, 35 seconds no longer searching for scattered sea gold anymore. It felt as if some massive underwater pay system was hidden. 8:4:28 minutes, 42 seconds below, something that had remained unnoticed for decades. 8:4:88 minutes, 48 seconds searching for gold beneath the Bering Sea had always been considered dangerous. But this time the situation, 8:5:58 minutes, 55 seconds was different. The area where Emily Riedel's team was preparing to dive was so deadly that even a tiny mistake could. 9:0:39 minutes, 3 seconds turned directly into death. The storm winds were raging above the ocean, but the real danger was hidden 85 feet below. 9:1:29 minutes, 12 seconds. The water temperature was only 2 degrees. In water that cold, the human body could start going numb within minutes. Even 9:2:19 minutes, 21 seconds. With gloves and thermal suits, divers often lost strength in their grip. But the biggest problem was visibility. The 9:2:99 minutes, 29 seconds. Water below was so muddy that sometimes a diver could not clearly see even 3 feet ahead. That meant if a sharp rock, 9:3:89 minutes, 38 seconds suddenly appeared or the current changed direction, there would be almost no time. 9:4:49 minutes, 44 seconds to react and the currents. Those were the most terrifying part of all. Beneath, 9:5:19 minutes, 51 seconds. of Bering Sea. The underwater currents could suddenly change direction without warning. Many divers described it as 9:5:99 minutes, 59 seconds, feeling like some invisible force was pulling them away. Over the past few seasons, see several underwater 10:06:10 minutes, 6 seconds accidents had already happened. Some divers were injured after smashing into rocks, while others became so panicked. 10:14:10 minutes, 14 seconds that emergency pull-ups had to be performed. Emily's crew kept warning her again and again that this was not a 10:22:10 minutes, 22 seconds normal mining zone. Sonar scans were showing that the seafloor was uneven and extremely dangerous. Huge jagged rocks. 10:31:10 minutes, 31 seconds. Deep cracks and narrow underwater trenches were spread across the area below. If a diver's oxygen line became 10:40:10 minutes, 40 seconds trapped somewhere, escaping could become almost impossible. 10:44:10 minutes, 44 seconds. But the problem was that the strongest gold signals were also coming from that same deadly zone. Inside the control, 10:53:10 minutes, 53 seconds room. Everyone stared at the blinking depth numbers on the screens, and only one question was running through there. 11:00:11 minutes mines. Was the hidden $110 million jackpot below really worth this level of 11:08:11 minutes, 8 seconds risk? During that night, the atmosphere aboard the dredge boat felt like the beginning of a final war. Powerful icy. 11:15:11 minutes, 15 seconds. Winds kept slamming against the metal walls. Giant ocean waves were shaking the entire boat, and the non-stop 11:23:11 minutes, 23 seconds. Beeping of the sonar machines inside the control room only increased the tension further. Emily Riedel's entire crew, 11:31:11 minutes, 31 seconds, understood that the moment to make a decision had finally arrived because they had only 72 hours left. After that, 11 to 39 11 minutes. 39 seconds of weather would become so dangerous that the entire operation would have to shut down completely. Nearly $2.80 8. 11:47 11 minutes. 47 seconds million had already been spent during the season. Fuel costs were rising every single day. Several dangerous dives had. 11:57 11 minutes. 57 seconds completely failed, and the continuing losses had started putting heavy pressure on the investors. The crew was 12:04 12 minutes, 4 seconds physically and mentally exhausted. Many people had started believing that turning back was now the smartest decision possible. But the problem was 12:13 12 minutes. 13 seconds that the sonar scans kept showing the same shocking metallic signals, the same massive anomaly zone hidden 85 feet below. 12:23 12 minutes. 23 seconds the same abnormal density readings, and the same terrifying possibility that the biggest underwater gold jackpot in 12:31 12 minutes. 31 seconds Bering Sea history could be waiting beneath them. Senior divers repeatedly warned Emily. They said the visibility 12:39 12 minutes. 39 seconds below was almost zero. The currents were highly unstable, and the seafloor was covered with jagged rocks. If an oxygen 12:47 12 minutes, 47 seconds line got trapped somewhere, or the current suddenly shifted, rescue would become nearly impossible. 12:55 12 minutes, 55 seconds. Some crew members were now openly saying that this dive could be suicidal. 13:01 3 minutes, 1 second. For a few moments, Emily Riedel stood silently staring at the dark ocean. The freezing winds were hitting her face. 13:09 3 minutes, 9 seconds, but only one thought was running through her mind. And if she backed away now, she might spend the rest of her life wondering what was really hidden below. 13:19 13 minutes, 19 seconds. Then suddenly, Emily turned toward the crew and said, "We didn't come this far just to give up, if there's really that." 13:27 13 minutes, 27 seconds. Much gold down there. I'm not going back without trying. The moment Emily descended into the freezing waters of 13:34 13 minutes, 34 seconds of Bering Sea, every sound from above suddenly disappeared. Now only the soft noise of the oxygen system remained. 13:43 13 minutes, 43 seconds. While thick darkness surrounded her from every direction, the water was so cold that within seconds her fingers inside the gloves started feeling numb. 13:55 13 minutes, 55 seconds. Visibility was so poor that Emily could barely see even 3 feet ahead of her. 14:01 4 minutes, 1 second. Radio instructions kept coming from the dredge boat above, but below the surface, the situation was becoming more. 14:08 4 minutes, 8 seconds. Dangerous with every passing second. The location shown by the sonar scans was near a deep underwater trench, and that was the most dangerous part of all. 14:20 14 minutes, 20 seconds. The currents below were extremely powerful, and several times it felt like the water itself was trying to drag. 14:26 14 minutes, 26 seconds. Emily sideways. She had only a 20-minute oxygen window. That meant within that limited time, she had to reach the 14:35. Tiny gold particles were 15:05 minutes, 5 seconds shining beneath her. But the most shocking part was that this did not look like normal scatter placer gold. And 15:13 15 minutes, 13 seconds of gold here was unusually concentrated. In some places, it looked as if the entire trench was filled with 15:20 15 minutes, 20 seconds layers of fine gold. Emily immediately sent a signal to the crew above. Inside the control room, technicians were 15:28 15 minutes, 28 seconds staring at the screens and helmet camera footage in disbelief, because what was appearing below had never before been. 15:37 15 minutes, 37 seconds recorded in the Bering Sea. Emily cleared away more sediment. Then suddenly, a larger metallic shine. 15:45 15 minutes, 45 seconds appeared. For a few seconds, The entire control room went completely silent. 15 to 15 minutes, 51 seconds, because now it no longer looked like a simple gold recovery operation. It felt as if Emily was standing on top of some. 15 minutes, 58 seconds, massive hidden underwater system. The footage coming from Emily's helmet camera had left every person inside the 16:0516 minutes, 5 seconds control room speechless. At first, everyone believed they had only discovered a small gold pocket. But as 16:13 minutes, 13 seconds, Emily continued moving deeper, the situation completely changed. There was not just scattered gold beneath the 16:20 minutes, 20 seconds seafloor. It looked as if the entire underwater zone was packed with gold concentration. 16:27 minutes, 27 seconds. The sonar scans were immediately analyzed again. This time, technicians began wider mapping operations. The results became even more shocking. 16:38 minutes, 38 seconds. Metallic signals appeared to stretch continuously across nearly a 500-foot area. Some pockets looked connected. 16:46 minutes, 46 seconds across different depths, almost as if an entire underwater pay system existed below. One marine geology expert studied 16:55 minutes, 55 seconds of data carefully and said, "This doesn't look like a normal placer deposit. The gold appears to be layered." 17:0217 minutes, 2 seconds in multiple levels, almost like the concentration has been building for not just decades, but centuries. And that 17:10 minutes, 10 seconds was what made the discovery both terrifying and exciting at the same time. Because if that theory proved 17:17 minutes, 17 seconds correct, Emily's team could be standing above the richest underwater deposit in Bering Sea history. Early estimates 17:17 minutes, 25 seconds suggested the possibility of nearly 48,000 ounces of gold. Based on market prices at that time, the value could reach almost $110 million. 17:38 minutes, 38 seconds below the surface, Emily kept removing more sediment. Every time her flashlight moved, new golden reflections appeared. 17:47 minutes, 47 seconds. In some places, there were layers that looked like fine gold sand, while in other spots, larger concentrated chunks. 17:54 minutes, 54 seconds could be seen. Above the water, crew members stared at one another because they had never witnessed recovery signs. 18:0118 minutes, 1 second the strong before. The most shocking part was that this entire zone had remained hidden from other miners for 18:0818 minutes, 8 seconds years. Other operations stayed focused on shallow deposits above, while this massive underwater gold system remained untouched below. 18:19 minutes, 19 seconds after Emily's discovery. The atmosphere across the entire dredge operation changed overnight. Just a few days. 18:27 minutes, 27 seconds earlier. The crew had been talking about shutting the season down. But now, every single person was filled with adrenaline. 18:35 minutes, 35 seconds and excitement. Because the sonar scans and Emily's underwater footage had confirmed one thing clearly. This was 18:43 minutes, 43 seconds, not a small deposit. A massive gold zone truly existed below. And now there was 18:58 minutes, 50 seconds, only one goal. Recover as much gold as possible. From the very next day, the 18:57 minutes, 57 seconds entire operation switched into full 247 mode. The dredge machines ran non-stop without rest. Crew members worked in 19:0619 minutes, 6 seconds rotating shifts, but the processing systems never stopped. The recovery system above became so overloaded that 19:1419 minutes, 14 seconds filters, and slee lines started jamming repeatedly. 19:18 minutes, 18 seconds. The amount of fine gold was so massive that cleanup trays were filling up within just a few hours. Every day, 19:26 19 minutes, 26 seconds. Hundreds of ounces of gold started being recovered. At first, the crew believed it might only be a lucky streak in the 19:34 19 minutes, 34-second beginning, but the production kept increasing. In some recovery runs, the gold concentration was so high that even 19:43 19 minutes, 43 seconds. The technicians, sitting at the weighing table, began checking the numbers twice themselves. 19:49 19 minutes, 49 seconds. Weekly recovery estimates had now entered the multi-million-dollar range. 19:54 19 minutes, 54 seconds. The entire dredge boat no longer looked like a normal mining site anymore. It felt as if the whole Bering Sea had 20:0120 minutes, 1 second suddenly transformed back into the original gold rush era. The sound of machines, the pressure of hydraulic, 20:10 20 minutes, 10 seconds pumps, the non-stop movement of divers, and the blinking recovery numbers inside the control room. Everywhere there was 20:19 20 minutes, 19 seconds. Only one thing, gold fever. But the pressure had also become just as intense. Emily Riedel knew that such 20:28 20 minutes, 28 seconds aggressive extraction was extremely risky. The equipment was being pushed into overload constantly. The divers, 20:36 20 minutes, 36 seconds, were reaching complete exhaustion, and the freezing weather was making the operation more dangerous with every 20:43 20 minutes, 43 seconds passing hour. Still, nobody wanted to stop because after every cleanup, the 20:50 20 minutes, 50 seconds shining gold, filling the trays, kept proving one thing. The deposit below could be far larger than anyone had. 20:57 20 minutes, 57 seconds expected. As Emily Riedl's recovery numbers started spreading outside the operation, the entire mining industry, 21:0421 minutes, 4 seconds, went into shock. At first, most people believed the reports were exaggerated because underwater gold recovery rates, 21:12 21 minutes, 12 seconds, this massive, had never before been recorded in the Bering Sea. But once independent experts in geology, 21:20 21 minutes, 20 seconds, consultants started examining the real data, opinions quickly began to change.